What is up, guys? Women, children, grandmothers, grandfathers. I'm going to be doing a review on one of these lighters. It is the SUPRUS lighter. It is SUPRUS. Not entirely sure how to say it, but it's kind of cool. It literally lights candles and stuff, so not too big of a deal, but thought it was an interesting little item, so might as well make a video. Here we go. So first of all, I just kind of want to preface this video with growing up, I always loved fire and candles and, well, not necessarily candles, but messing with the candles and watching the wax fall and everything like that. So I've always loved fire. Not necessarily a pyromaniac, but I will say that I almost took my dad's eye out with a Roman candle one time. That wasn't even when I was a kid. That was actually last year, last 4th of July. So a few days marks a year. So I actually was introduced to this lighter about like a month ago or something like that. My buddy has one. We were over at his house and I saw his wife light a candle with it. I was like, what is that thing? I had no idea what it did. And then I saw her, lighting candles. I was like, dang, that is awesome. I need to get one. So basic functionality, nothing super special about this. It has a little switch right here. You just plop it open, that thing comes up. Then there's a button right below it and you just hold it. And it creates that little spark. It's an arc lighter. I don't really know how it works or what it means, but yeah, it's charged. It has a little blue light, and then obviously if it's not charged, it doesn't work. So yeah. And traditionally, I always use these regular lighters. These are two different ones. This is the typical like flame. It's like nice and soft. And then this one I really love. It's like a torch almost. It's like wind resistant, and you can, it's literally like an intense flame. Ooh, I can make it brighter. Ooh, look at that. But yeah, these are super great, and it's literally for lighting a candle or whatever, so this is nothing special necessarily. So these are great, but the thing that I loved so much about this one is that one, it makes me feel like Tony Stark because it's like a cool invention, and I don't know why, I just like Tony Stark. And two, these ones run out. So eventually there's gas in here and the gas is gonna run out and you're gonna have to buy a new one for $5 or whatever the case is. And don't get me wrong, switching to this is not gonna make you a millionaire, but this thing is pretty awesome though, because once it goes out, it's not run by gas or oil or whatever the case. It is actually just, you charge it. So if it runs out of its juice or whatever, there's a little USB port on the back. You just plug that in, and then like I mentioned earlier about the blue light, once the blue light turns off, then it is fully charged. And there you have basically a new lighter. So you don't have to continue to buy new ones over and over again. And don't get me wrong, this isn't a huge issue in people's lives, but it is nice to know that you have to buy a lighter once and never again. And it comes with a little cool feature in the fact of it just looks cool. GoPro, stop recording. I will say though that if you are at like a bonfire or you're lighting something outside of your house, outside of just a candle, I would use one of these simply because you can kind of, look at that, that's cool. You can kind of get further away from the flame, and then also this only has probably like a 1/4 inch, if that, in between these little prongs. So whatever you're lighting has to get in between those, and wood or whatever the case would be a little bit tough to get in between those. But it is perfect for your house, just for lighting candles and stuff. So let's do a little test. I have some candles here. Look at this. Nice little display. This is my little setup right now. I tried that light first, and then that was like orangey. This one's more light, or white, I mean. So it looked better. But whatever case, so here, I have some light, some candles here. Let's light them. So flick it open. Whoppa! Let's light the first one. 1, 2, 3. Typically, I like to give it a little 3-second lift off. Let's try this guy. 1, 2, 3. So surprisingly enough, both of them work. And let's try this last one. Whoppa! Okay, there you go. And then also with these, sometimes they don't light every time like that. For example, if you don't really do the right sequence, and for some people this actually could like kind of hurt their thumb, but if you don't do the right sequence at times, then it can not light. But regardless, for the most part, it always does eventually. But like I said, sometimes it could hurt people's thumbs, but not super big issue, but something to consider, I guess. So that is another nice part about this. You know, you open this up and then it exposes that little button right there. You just hold it down and then it creates the arc. So it's a little bit easier on the thumb, I guess, if you would say, but not a big deal. So in conclusion, all three of these lighters work perfectly, to be honest. This one is the one I would recommend just around the house for like candles and stuff, just because it has a really cool feature. Well, I mean, it just looks cool. And then also it recharges, so you never actually have to buy a new one, which is pretty awesome. And it's only like $9 or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember the price, but I'll put it in a link below, like I said. So check it out. Maybe try one, return it if you don't like it. And there you go. Have a good day. Now let's light some candles. There you go. Just kidding, it's not in there. Look, you can even like put it in the back pocket if you want. You can put it and balance it on your head. Oh wow, it actually stuck. Look at that. Haha!